Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful that you were here. You guys, today I wanted to do a video on what is something to help us get over our current fears. So if you're currently feeling fearful or worried or scared about something, I wanted to draw a card to see, how to get past this fear, how to get past this feeling of being scared. And I got none other than the worry card of tarot. I got the Nine of Swords card. Now this card, he actually looks quite worried, okay? He is, sitting up in bed and um and he's worried. Okay, he's worried about his future. He has the monkey brain going on where you just keep it's there's so much chatter going on in your head and you can't quiet your thoughts. Okay, so first thing when I see this card, you could benefit from meditation. Okay, doing a meditation and doing a visualization. So figure out whatever it is that you're scared of, and I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to think of this thing. Now I want you to think of the worst thing that can happen, the worst thing that can happen in this situation or whatever. Okay, most of the time for you guys is probably just going to be like, oh, maybe people laugh at you, maybe you look funny, maybe you look weird doing something. I'm going to tell you a little story, a little anecdote here. I was in the gym yesterday morning, and I was overhearing this guy talk to this other guy in the change room about some, like, he had some symptoms or something, and then he said, yeah, the doctors injected ink, they checked my legs, they did this, they did that, they run all these tests, I had MRIs, and they can't figure out what the problem is. And so of course I I stopped caring about what people think of me a long time ago, and I walked up to him and I was like, hey, I'm being nosy, what's wrong with you, what do you have? And he goes, I have vertigo. I said, oh, okay, so then, of course I'm gonna try to do whatever I can, try to use whatever it is that I've learned in my occult knowledge little handbook up here. And I used to watch some videos on healing with your hands and doing energy healing and stuff, and I thought, well, whatever, it is what it is. And so I said, oh, like, do you believe in energy? He says, well, I'm willing to believe in anything that can work. So I said, okay, where's your pain right now? Where's your pain? He says kind of like all over, I guess vertigo, I don't know, really, it's like where you're like dizzy or something all the time. But he says, like, he pointed to his head and he said, right here is like where, as like, that's where you feel like it originates from. He said, yeah. So I'm going like this and I'm shaking my hands like this, building up my chakra, building up the energy in my hands. Okay, you guys, I look funny doing this, right? I'm in the gym, and there's this older gentleman who was standing. I was kind of in between them, and then he walked a little bit away when I was doing that. So I said, I'm gonna put my hands near your head. I'm not gonna touch you, and I just want you to tell me what you feel afterwards. So he closed his eyes, and I closed my eyes. And you guys, I look weird when I do this because, by the way, when you do energy healing, you just go into a state of nothingness, like complete zen. All right, and it looks kind of funny when you do it. It kind of looks like your eyes are rolling back. All right. And so the idea behind this, if you're curious, is you bring nothing, you bring the state of being nothing into the something that they are feeling. So he says pain was here. He was feeling something. So he was feeling a something right here. Okay. And so I go into the state of nothingness and I hold my hands up and I bring the state of nothingness to his state of something, which, can cancel it out. And so it doesn't work all the time, but I mean, if it was willing to work for him and it took me like 5 seconds, whatever, I'm going to do it. So I did it. And then so I asked him what he felt afterwards. He said, I felt a weird, I felt a lot of heat. Like, it was the most bizarre feeling. It felt like a tingling. And I said, okay, great. That's what you're supposed to feel. You're supposed to feel like a tingling, weird heat and sensation wherever it is. And so I was like, listen, it's not going to work all the time, but if it does work for you and it helps you, I mean, good for you, right? This was a couple of days ago. So then I was telling JJ about this afterwards, who's my gym friend. Shout out JJ. And he was like, that's funny that, like, because I said, the worst that can happen, and I was telling the guy this too, I was like, the worst that can happen is that I look kind of funny for like 5 seconds. It is what it is, and it doesn't work, okay? But the best that can happen is like your vertigo goes away, right? And so I said, sometimes all it takes is a little bit of belief. So yeah, so I guess I'll update you when I hear from him next. But JJ was telling me, he was like, yeah, that's funny, like, you detached from like what people think. I'm like, yeah, because at the end of the day, like, who cares? I look a little funny for a few seconds, like, what? So I want you to think of this story, okay? So sometimes, I used to not do so many things. There was people where, I'm sure they were in my path for some reason and I was meant to meet them, and I had this overwhelming desire to say something to them, but I was too scared. I was scared of rejection. I was maybe rejecting myself before I started talking to them. I was too scared that I would look funny or look weird or look different and be different. And And so I didn't approach these people, and I didn't do the things that maybe I should have done, and I didn't go the places that maybe I should have went out of fear. Maybe I didn't apply for some of the jobs that would have been really good for me, or this, that, or the other. There was so many things that you could have, should have, would have done. And I just want to tell you that, if an opportunity is meant for you, it'll come back around. So don't worry if you passed up on an opportunity accidentally, or you're too scared, or you're holding yourself back, or judging yourself too much to go after this thing that you actually did want, okay? And so at the end of the day, I just want you guys to know that it doesn't matter. Like, the worst thing that can happen is you look funny for a few seconds, okay? You look funny for a day, or you feel embarrassed for a day. And you shouldn't even feel embarrassed, because you went after the things that you wanted. So even if you did do something and the worst case scenario happens and you didn't get that job that you wanted, okay, who cares? There's going to be another job. Rejection is God protection, and you're going to be okay. Okay, you are taken care of at the end of the day. Like, if you talk to your friends, you can ask, what's the worst thing that ever happened to you, and they'll tell you. I'm pretty sure they're not still going through it. I'm pretty sure they're over it now. Okay, unless they're going through something really terrible, I'll pray for them. But I'm trying to say that, like, the things in your life, the worst things that you guys have been through, they've all passed, and I'm willing to bet you don't think of them every single day, right? So even the things that you're worried about, the things that you're scared about, they're not going to be in your life forever. All right. Even the worst case scenario, you're going to eventually get over it. So you might as well just go after the things that you want. We make up so many scenarios in our head of things that just, like, don't happen. Like, now, I just don't care. I just talk to people when I want to talk to people. I go up to people. I look funny doing weird things that I don't care, really, because this is my life. This is my everybody is just a reflection of you. Everyone, you just have to be very selfish in this way and think that, oh, you're in a movie, and so everybody else is just a side character playing a part in your movie, and you're the protagonist. And if the protagonist wants to sit down in the middle of the floor and look a little funny, for some dramatic effect, or your protagonist is a little tired and want to have a little seat, or you want to do something, or you want to say something to somebody else, it's not up to you how they respond, but it's up to you how you feel. And it's up to you to know that it doesn't really matter. Like, even if somebody does reject you, who cares? All right, the more rejection you face, the more you're going to get over it, the more it doesn't really matter. Okay, you guys, the only people who should matter to you are your best friends, your family, okay, your loved ones, people who you love, people you're close with. Like, so when you think about that, those are really, and yourself as well. And so if we think of the universe, if you think of everybody in history, nobody's going to be taking jot notes down on something silly that you did, or something funny that you said, or that you tried your best to achieve your dreams, and then you stopped because you got rejected once. Well, the only reason you failed your dreams is because you stopped. You need to keep going. You need to get back up there and go after the things that you want. Go after the things that you're scared of, because you're going to learn so much in the process, and you're going to do so much in the process, and you're going to figure out so much, and you're going to experience so much. And yeah, so that's what I got for you guys today. Please stop feeling unworthy. Stop feeling fearful. Don't be worried about your future. You got this, okay? Don't let that brain go crazy. Do some meditation, do some deep breathing exercises, and visualize yourself the best case scenario. I want you to visualize the best case scenario after you go through the worst case scenario and realize that it's not that bad, actually. And then I want you to envision and see the best case scenario playing out, okay? Because when you do visualization practices, that's really, like, you're telling the universe, this is what I want to happen, and the universe is like, oh, all right, let's calculate this. Okay, let's do that for them. All right, that's what the universe is going to say to you. So I want you to visualize the best case scenario and know that that is what's going to happen. Even if it doesn't happen, it's going to be okay anyways. It's going to be okay anyways. So you guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Please like this video if you like this video. Comment down below if there's anything in particular that you want to see. I'm going to give you a big kiss. You guys, thank you so much. And I will see you tomorrow. So subscribe because I make daily videos. And yeah, thank you so much. And I will talk to you soon.